Hello everybody, welcome back to Learn English with Richard. In this training lesson, I am going to teach you how to speak like a manager in English. If you want to communicate with confidence as a manager, make sure you watch this lesson from start to finish. I will cover the following 3 things to help you improve your English speaking skills. Number 1, I will give you 3 powerful tips for speaking English like a manager. I have been a manager for more than 30 years in England, and these 3 powerful tips are vital if you want to be a confident manager and English communicator. Tip number 2, I'm going to give you 8 brilliant English words you can use every day to speak confidently like a manager. And then finally, number 3, I will tell you how you can get free access to my English speaking skills support package. And just very quickly, if you are new to my YouTube channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. When you are subscribed, I can help you improve your English speaking skills much faster. And please give the video a like. I really do appreciate your support. To begin with, let me give you 3 powerful tips for speaking English like a manager. Please write these down. Tip number 1 is to make sure you think before you speak. This is very important because this helps give clarity and confidence in what you are communicating. I strongly recommend you always pause before speaking as a manager. Managers never rush their words. They think and then deliver. So make sure you pause before speaking. I also recommend you use short, clear sentences. Avoid filler words like or like. Avoid those words at all costs if you want to be a confident English communicator. And also be direct and authoritative. Instead of saying, I think maybe we could possibly try this idea, say this instead when addressing your team. Let's test this idea and review the results. That is much more confident as a manager. It demonstrates confidence in your abilities. It shows strong leadership, and also it demonstrates to your team that you are taking ownership of the situation. So don't say, I think maybe we could possibly try this idea. Say this instead. Let's test this idea and review the results. Let's move on to tip number 2 for speaking English with confidence as a manager, and that is to always speak with purpose. I recommend you use professional vocabulary and tone. I recommend you use action verbs. Action verbs are a brilliant way to become a confident English communicator. Let me give you some examples of brilliant management action verbs. I want us to achieve 3 things today as follows. The word achieve is an action verb. Another one. I would like you to implement this by the end of today. The word implement is the action verb. Another one. Stephen, I would like you to lead on the project. Another example. Let's make sure we deliver on our promises, and let's align our work with the company's objectives. Those are great examples of management action verbs. Achieve, implement, lead, deliver, and align. Write them down and incorporate them into your everyday communication with individuals or teams as a manager. Let me give you some more tips. Another one is to replace emotional words with positive ones. I recommend you avoid words or sentences that evoke negativity. Let me give you an example. If you are communicating with your team and somebody comes up with an idea that you don't agree with, do not say, "I don't agree." Instead, say this: "That's an interesting perspective. However, have we considered this alternative way of doing things?" So do not say, "I don't agree," because that is negative. Instead, replace it with positive phrases and English sentences. That's an interesting perspective. That is a much better way to communicate in English as a manager. I also recommend you structure your ideas logically. I do this all of the time. I recommend you use numbers to explain your plan or ideas. For example, at the start of this training lesson, I told you I was going to cover 3 things today in this lesson. So it makes it far easier for you to absorb what it is I am communicating. For example, you could say this: firstly, let's clarify the goal. Secondly, we'll assign responsibilities. That is a brilliant way to structure your ideas by using numbers. Firstly, let's clarify the goal. Secondly, we'll assign responsibilities. I have been using numbers as a manager when communicating in English for more than 30 years with great success, and I recommend you do it too. Tip number 3 for speaking English like a manager with confidence is to project leadership energy. This is very important, and you can project leadership energy through body language and presence. Make sure you maintain strong eye contact with your team or the individual you are communicating with, because this shows confidence in your abilities and control of the communication. You should also speak slightly slower than you would do normally, and on occasions lower your tone, because this creates calmness and authority. Let's now move on to the next section of this English lesson, where I will give you 8 brilliant English words you can use every day to speak like a manager with confidence. Write these down. Word number 1 is proactive. I use this word all the time as a manager. The word proactive conveys initiative and forward thinking. You can say this: let's be proactive rather than waiting for issues to arise. Let's be proactive. It's a great English word to use as a manager. English word number 2 is strategic. The word strategic shows big picture thinking and long-term planning. You could say something like this: we need a strategic approach to improve efficiency. I need 5 strong ideas. We need a strategic approach. It is a brilliant word to use when communicating in English as a manager. Word number 3 I recommend you use in your everyday conversation is transformational. This is a brilliant English word. It suggests positive change and forward progress. I use the word transformational when communicating with my team. I might say something like this to give them praise: the ideas you've been contributing to the team lately have been really transformational. It is a positive management word that I strongly recommend you use when communicating with your team in English. Let's now move on to the next English management word you can use, and that one is results driven. The words results driven emphasize measurable impact and success. You could say this during a team meeting as a manager: we must be results driven with our actions. The company's success depends on it. That is a brilliant phrase to say when communicating with your team. We must be results driven with our actions. The company's success depends on it. The next word I want you to use is resilience. The word resilience communicates strength and composure under pressure. You could say something like this: "Well done, team. Our resilience helped us overcome last quarter's challenges." It's a great word to use as a manager. The next word is accountable. I use this all the time in my business when communicating in English with my team. The word accountable implies taking ownership and also being reliable. You could say this: "As a team, we must be accountable for our actions." It's a great English word I recommend you use in your everyday conversation. The next word is commercially focused. Again, I use this all the time as a manager. The word commercially focused emphasizes business awareness and results orientation. Here is an example of how you can use it in everyday conversations. If we are commercially focused, I am confident we can achieve our objectives. If we are commercially focused, I am confident we can achieve our objectives. Brilliant words to use when communicating in English as a manager. The next one I want you to use is reflect. I love this word. The word reflect encourages learning or development in teams. For example, you can say something like this: "I'd like us all to reflect on our performance during the project so we can improve." Reflect is a great English word to use as a manager. The next thing I want you to do is get access to my English speaking skills support package. This is a brilliant course, and you can get free access right now by clicking the link in the top comment below this video. I will help you become a confident communicator in super fast time if you get access to this course. Thank you very much for watching. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. When you are subscribed, I can help you improve your English speaking skills much faster. And please also give the video a like, because that really does energize and motivate me to create more great content for you. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful day.